afternoon. Here we come with yet another video from the Indian Community School Kuwait on the examination tips for the French exam. We have the French exam on the 22nd of February for the 10th graders. This video will serve you for the French exam, which is going to be on the 22nd of February for the 10th graders. I'm here to give you the section-wise details and the allotment of marks. The paper, as you're all aware, it is of 80 marks and we have 4 different sections in it. Section A carrying 10 marks, Section B, which is the creative section, carrying 20 marks, and Section C, which is the grammar section, carrying 30 marks, and Section D, the culture and civilization part, carrying 20 marks. Talking about the time management, yes, we should make the effective use of the reading time which is given prior to the examination. As soon as you get the question paper, we are all given a time of 15 minutes to read through the questions. I would recommend you to read the reading section, which is taking more time during the writing time. My recommendation for the time management section-wise, Section A, the reading section, 30 minutes a student can easily use and complete it. For writing section, we can go for yet another 40 minutes, which includes a letter writing, paragraph filling, invitation, or to rearrange the dialogue. For the grammar section, a child needs to spend minimum of 60 minutes. We have 6 different exercises and the weightage is 30 marks. And for section D, the culture and civilization, it is 30 minutes, my suggestion would be, and we can easily complete those questions of section D. Now students, it's better to identify the best section and I would advise you to begin with that particular section. This can be decided during your reading time. Section A, the tips for section A, the reading comprehension. We would be given a comprehension reading passage which you have to read through thoroughly, try your maximum understanding of the passage before you start reading the questions. When you read the questions, please come back and read the passage once again to find out where the answers are exactly lying. Coming to the first question, like répondez aux questions, you'll have to write for 2 marks. Please do not end up writing one word. Please make a brief answer to the 2-mark question. Here you have a choice to choose 2 among 3. So please attempt the ones where your confidence lies more. Coming to true or false, it is 3 marks having 6 questions, half a mark weightage. Now, the trick in the true or false is you will have to watch out for the words. Sometimes a small negation in the sentence will make it a true statement or the false statement. So please be extra cautious during the true or false section. Now, coming to Trivedi text, students, please ensure that your answers are from the passage only. You can be questioned to find out the noun form, that is form nominal, the verb form verbal, and pick out any 2 adjectives or adverbs or conjunctions. So, the noun form will exactly look like the verb form and it is easy for you to identify them, and you please accompany it with a definite article. For the verb form, ensure you give it in the infinitive form of the verb, that is the unconjugated form of the verb. Coming to adverbs, if you find any word ending with ment, that serves as an adverb for you. Apart from that, très, bien, all these are adverbs. And then coming to adjectives, adjectives will be found mostly after the noun in French language and mostly it will be in agreement with the noun. So you can easily identify the adjectives. Coming to conjunctions, yes, your passage will surely have conjunctions, n number of conjunctions like a, ou, pour, etc. So that's with Trivedi text. And the reading comprehension, if at all you find it little difficult, keep this section towards the end. Coming to section B, which is your writing section, we have a compulsory letter to be attempted out of 3 different questions. So please choose the one which you are confident with. And the advice to start the letter writing would be to start in a new page wherein you can complete the letter in the same page itself. We have the way to start the letter, and we started with a date line which has a place and the date and the month. And the way you address to the sender. Very important, and this carries 2 marks. Another 2 marks for the way you sign off the letter, how you greet and you sign off. The rest of the marks lies for the content of the letter. Please stick onto the content and make sure that you address the necessity of the letter. If your informal letter is for a friend or a cousin, you may use tu form throughout. And if it's going to be a parent or a grandparent, please kindly use vu form throughout. But do not mix tu form and vu form within the letter. Coming to the other parts of the section B, we have a choice to be made between invitation or refusal, or a dialogue rearranging, or complete the paragraph. Coming to invitation or refusal. Kindly read the question properly, whether it is an invitation or a refusal. The word refu can be found in the question if it is a refusal, or it can be vous ne pouvez pas assister. In case of a refusal, the reason why you're denying the invitation should be mentioned. Message. Whenever you're writing a refusal message, please ensure you give a reason why you're refusing the invitation. See, looking into the minimum of words of 30, please ensure you give a good refusal reason for the message. Coming to invitation, please ensure that you put the correct reason for the invite which is already mentioned in your question. Along with the reason of invite, you have to mention the date, place and time. Yes, children, the format. Coming to the format of message writing, it should always be in a box, and yes, the date line and the way you address, dear, share or share, masculine, feminine, and the way you sign off. These carries 2 marks and the rest 3 marks is for the content of the message. Coming to dialogue writing, kindly read the dialogue twice or thrice to understand the sequence. My suggestion, please draw a rough column in your answer sheet and try the sequence in your rough manner, later which can be struck up. But please do write the correct order of the dialogue in the main sheet with full statements. Do not write A, B, C or 1, 2, 3. Dialogue writing is a writing task which has to be written properly. Coming to compléter l'histoire, you will be given with a help box of 5 words and a passage with 5 blanks. And you'll have to correctly match those 5 words into the 5 blanks. Remember children, the grammar knowledge is a necessity to do compléter l'histoire. For example, if there is a blank after the subject, it calls for a verb. And if there is a blank next to a noun, it calls for an adjective. So please be extra cautious if you're choosing this question, because a wrong answer will deduct you 2 marks in this question. Because if you replace 2 words, you end up losing 2 marks. So students, make a wise choice between the dialogue rearranging, the message and complete the story. Thank you.
Now students, I'll take you through section C and section D. What is section C exactly? It's nothing but La Grammaire. In the La Grammaire section, we have 3 compulsory questions. The first being discours rapporté, ton convenable second, and we have subjunctive. It's preferable to do all these 3 before the other optional ones. Also, write the entire phrase and underline the answer so that the examiner does not miss that that's your answer and would allot you marks for that. Let's go to the compulsory questions now, one by one. Let's take ton convenable for that matter. Ton convenable has a lot of hint words involved, a lot of clue words involved. For example, we have demain for future sampler. We have hier that indicates passé composé. Learn up those hint words very well, children. Also, we have those pair tenses, that is FS and FA, that is futur simple and futur antérieur. PQP, that is plus de parfait, paired with nothing but passé composé. So learn up those pairs, learn up the hint words, and definitely you'll do well in the ton convenable. Do not forget one other thing. You have a choice. That means you have an internal choice for these 3 compulsory questions. We come to discours rapporté. Please note, direct speech is always denoted with punctuations. Those are the direct words of the speaker. And With respect to indirect speech, do not forget there will not be any punctuations. That's how you can identify the indirect speech. Year 2, you will be given 7 phrases, 7 sentences, out of which you need to do any 5. So take your best pick. Whichever is the strongest forte of yours, you go for that. For example, many students are not very good with indirect, many students are good with direct. You opt according to your own fortes and along with your own strengths. Whereas indirect speech, remember, it's nothing but relaying the speaker's words to somebody else. So there will be no punctuations whatsoever. There are also declarative phrases here to keep in mind, which are the easiest. You just have to put in the word que and write the entire sentence the way it is. So they're simply very easily put. The next thing we have in Discours Rapporté is imperatif. We very well know that imperatif are those tenses, is that particular tense where there is no subject pronoun. So identify it well. There will be an infinitive. Okay, so you need to understand that when the infinitive comes in, you need to use a the plus infinitive, and that's what imperatif is in the affirmative way. Coming to imperatif négation, that is negation. How do you negate the imperative in the Discours Rapporté? And let's not forget that we have the négation also in the imperatif phrases, wherein the structure goes like this. It's the, ne pas plus infinitive. So do not forget the structure and write the structure correctly. Coming to the last one, that is interrogative words. We all know that interrogative words are qui, que, qu'est-ce que, comment, à quelle heure, and so on. So you just have to identify the key word, the key interrogative word from the question itself and attach the phrase the way it is. So it's a very simple thing, and I know that you're going to do very well in the Discours Rapporté after giving these steps. We come to the third and the final exercise, one of the compulsory exercises, and the third compulsory exercise over here is subjunctive. What happens in subjunctive? It's very, very simple. Subjunctive is nothing but you have to understand that the word que appears in every single sentence. But when does it appear? It appears after phrases like il faut que, il est important que, il est probable que, bien que, pourvu que, etc. So ensure the fact that you know the endings and the suffixes of subjunctive which are related to the ER regular verbs. You should know imparfait here too, because the nous and vous comes from the imparfait tense. So that's your subjunctive. Once you know that, I'm sure it's going to be easy for you. Next in line, we have nothing but the choice related questions. So we have trouver la question, which is bound or which is paired up with négation. Trouver la question is nothing but knowing the interrogative words, the quizzical words, qui, quand, comment, combien de, and so on. Once you know those words, it's very easy for you to form the question. But how are you going to form the question if you have not observed the underlined or the bold words? So ensure that in the paper, in the question, in the phrase, you see the bolded words. You see the words that are underlined. The words either underlined or bold have to be the answer to the question that you write. Okay, so that's your trouver la question, and we move on to négation. Négation is very simple. We have the hint words, we have the opposite words. You have to identify the key words like déjà, souvent, and so on. We all know that déjà is paired with ne pas encore, not yet, already and not yet. So very much English comes into the play. So once you know your English sentence, once you've done the traduction well, once you've translated the sentence well, then it's very easy to negate it. And you know that which expressions are the ones that fit the entire phrase well for negation. So once we're done with that, you're done with your negation. Remember, there are no choices, no internal choices in these exercises. But you have to do all the 5 questions for trouver la question if you pick that, or negation if you pick that. Now, moving on to pronom possessif et pronom démonstratif. Now, in pronom possessif et pronom démonstratif, there are only certain ground rules to stick to. And those ground rules are, you need to know that after the blank, if there is a noun, that is supposed to be filled up with a possessive adjective or a demonstrative adjective. And if after the blank there is no word, that means it is a possessive pronoun or a demonstrative pronoun that comes there. that's supposed to be placed there. Beware of the contractions. The preposition a with a grave and the, which means of and from. So a with a grave plus le gives you au. Do not forget to contract that. And de plus le gives you due. Do not forget to contract that as well. It's going to be o and due. Likewise, a plus le gives you aux and de plus le gives you des. Do not forget these contractions for this exercise. Okay, we come to the next exercise, which is also an optional exercise, PRS, PRC, that is prono-relative simple, prono-relative composé, which has an option of prono-personnel. Okay, let's take PRS. PRS is of 4 types, that is qui, que, où, and dont. Qui and que, which, what, it's very, very important that you understand the subject and object matter in that case. Où means when and where, and dont means whose, and the word though will be there. But remember one thing, you need to combine the 2 sentences using prono-relative qui, que, où, and dont after understanding the sentence. That means vocabulary is a must. It's an absolute must. Going on to prono-relative composé, children. Now, prono-relative composé is also very simple. You just need to merely identify the preposition in the sentence. We have a list of prepositions to be given to you. If you have the list, do learn it up well, because this is definitely going to help you with this particular exercise. So you take the preposition and you understand which of the nouns is getting repeated in both the sentences, find out the gender and number of that noun and attach it to the preposition. And there you go, you have a combined sentence. Structure it well, and trust me on this one, you will get it right. It's a very simple thing. So that was PRC and PRS, that is prono-relative simple et prono-relative composé. Coming to prono-personnel, remember that there are 5 types of prono-personnels. COD, which replaces people and things. COI, which replaces a preposition and a person if it's involved. E, that is why, that's how it's pronounced, E. So that replaces places and there has to be a preposition involved. O replaces quantity and partitive articles, food and drinks, number, and everything comes in that jurisdiction with DE and a place. And pronotonique comes in after that, which is always at the end or at the beginning. It's never conjugated, remember that, and it always replaces people. Do not forget that these prono-personnels have to be replacing a noun only, which is supposed to be placed in the correct structure, in the correct manner. Do not forget that the prono-personnel have a different structure to them. That means they have to be placed appropriately in their right structure only. So it depends on different tenses here, children. So in the present tense or any other tense for that matter, where there is only one conjugated verb, the subject pronoun and the conjugated verb are the ones that are very important, between which the prono-personnel are placed. If it's a passé composé, remember that the auxiliary is the one that is conjugated with the subject pronoun and not the past participle. That's why the prono-personnel are going to be placed between the subject pronoun and the conjugated verb, that is my auxiliary, which is être and avoir. Last but not the least, we also have another structure wherein there will be a conjugated verb and there will be an infinitive, which is where the placement would be between the 2 verbs. Okay, so these are the placements for all the tenses for this particular concept. Keep that in mind, bear that in mind, and trust me, you'll get it really right. Moving on to section D. Section D has lessons covered from lesson 2 to lesson 8 and lesson 10. So do not forget lesson 2 to lesson 8 only and lesson 10. So we have a choice in this. Répondez the question being the first very question to deal with. We have a choice here. We have 7 questions given to us, out of which we need to pick any 5 which we are strong at. Remember, the ones with the definitions, you have to write the entire definition and you have to give examples for that as well. Right after répondez aux questions, we have compléter avec les mots donnés, wherein you will be getting words in brackets. So you don't have to look for the answers anywhere, but the answers are right there in front of you. All you have to do is pick the answers, pick the right answer and write it in the blank. Year 2, you will be having a choice. Any 5 out of 7. So that's good news for you kids. And then we have an optional question coming your way, which is your 3rd question. An option between relier et vrai ou faux. That means dites vrai ou faux. Say true or false or match the following. So there you go, children. You have these two. But remember, for relier, do not cross out lines, do not drag lines, do not write the two columns and make lines. That's not allowed. It looks very shabby and it shouldn't be done. Please instead write the entire thing in the right sequence. If it's A, B, C, D and 1, 2, 3, it's better and it's more preferable to write down the answers the way it is, the way you want to write to the examiner. Okay, so that's the one. Please do not draw lines across. Dit Freo 4, it's very simple. The thing about culture and civilization section D, children, is that everything is related to your content which is there in the Entrejeune de. So please understand, the more vocabulary you know, the more content you know of the textbook, the better you can perform in this particular section D, which is culture and civilization. Also, one last tip, children, please be very careful. When the exam is over, identify the difficult questions and ensure you have answered all of these questions. That's very important. Sometimes we forget, sometimes we feel that it's difficult. We put in a space and we forget that, we move on, but then we forget to fill that space. Okay, so please ensure that you have identified the difficult questions and ensure that you have written the answers for those questions even if you have left them. Next, if missed any questions in the middle of your questionnaire, if you have missed anything to write, like I was saying, write it in your own words. If you don't know the answer, use your own vocabulary, but write something and attempt everything. That's more important. And do not forget to strike out the empty spaces or unused spaces or pages once you are done with your entire exam. Don't forget to proofread every answer and redo the paper in your mind. Yes, children, these were the important topics and these were the important pointers that we had to give to you. So don't forget to sleep well, rejuvenate yourself. Sleep is very important. Get your rest. Go for the exam all fresh and trust your learning. That's very important, and do your best and you will definitely come out in flying colors. We assure you, Indian Community School here from Kuwait. Thank you.